Hello, welcome back, everyone, to the Linguasphere Academy podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam, right here with you. So glad you're with us again.
You know, Sam, I had one of those weeks last week. You know the kind. Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Oh no, what happened?
Monday, I spilled coffee on my favorite shirt. Tuesday, I missed the bus and was late for a meeting. Wednesday, I locked my keys in the car.
Oh my goodness, that's a rough week.
It was. And my friend, trying to be helpful, said to me, "Don't worry, Alex, everything happens for a reason."
Haha, the classic, everything happens for a reason.
I wanted to be grateful, but honestly, I just wanted to scream. What reason could there possibly be for me locking my keys in the car?
That's the thing about that phrase. Sometimes it's comforting, sometimes it's annoying.
Exactly. So today, I want to talk about it. Our topic is, everything happens for a reason. Is it true? Is it helpful? Or is it just something we say to make ourselves feel better?
We're going to explore this idea from all sides, with honesty, with humor, and with a lot of laughter.
Because let's be real, some things that happen just seem random. Some things are just hard, and pretending they're not doesn't help.
As always, we'll speak clearly and keep it friendly. This is like a conversation between two friends trying to figure life out.
So get comfortable. Let's start with where this phrase comes from.
It's an old idea. It appears in many cultures, many religions, many philosophies. The idea that the universe has a plan.
That even when things seem random or cruel, there's a bigger picture we can't see.
It can be very comforting when something terrible happens, believing that it's part of a plan can help you cope.
I get that. If you believe that your suffering has meaning, it's easier to bear.
But there's also a dark side to this phrase. It can be used to dismiss pain, to tell someone to just get over it.
Don't be sad. Everything happens for a reason. That can feel like your feelings don't matter.
Exactly. So let's talk about when this phrase is helpful and when it's not.
First, let me tell you a story. When I was in university, I applied for a program I really wanted. I dreamed about it. I prepared for months.
Did you get in?
No, I was rejected. I was devastated. I thought my life was over.
That's so hard. What did you do?
I moped around for a few weeks. Then I found another program, a different one I hadn't even considered before.
And?
I changed my life. I met my best friends there. I discovered my passion. And I realized that if I had gotten into the first program, I would have missed all of that.
So, in that case, everything happened for a reason.
It felt like it. Not getting into that program led me somewhere better.
But here's the thing, not every story has that neat ending.
True, sometimes bad things happen and they just hurt. There's no silver lining, no hidden blessing.
And that's okay too. Not everything has to have a reason.
So let's talk about the difference between finding meaning and imposing meaning.
Finding meaning is looking back at a difficult experience and saying, I grew from this, I learned something.
Imposing meaning is saying to someone in pain, this happened for a reason, when they're not ready to hear it.
That's a great distinction. You can't force someone to see the good in something terrible.
You have to let them feel their pain first. Let them grieve. Let them be angry.
Then, maybe later they can find their own meaning.
Now let's talk about the role of randomness. Sometimes things just happen.
Haha, yes, the universe doesn't have a personal vendetta against you. Sometimes you just have bad luck.
I locked my keys in the car because I was distracted, not because the universe was teaching me a lesson.
That's refreshing. Sometimes a mistake is just a mistake.
Sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence.
So, where does that leave us? Should we believe that everything happens for a reason or not?
I think it's more about how you respond to what happens.
That's a great way to put it. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond.
You can choose to look for lessons. You can choose to grow. You can choose to find meaning.
Or you can choose to just feel your feelings and move on. Both are valid.
Now, let's talk about the pressure to be positive. Toxic positivity is real.
Don't be sad. Look on the bright side. Everything happens for a reason.
I've been on the receiving end of that. It doesn't help. It just makes you feel guilty for being human.
Real support is acknowledging pain. That really sucks. I'm here for you.
Not, this is actually good for you.
So if a friend is going through something hard, don't rush to the everything happens for a reason line.
Just listen. Just be there. That's what they need.
Now, let's talk about the idea of growth through struggle.
There's truth to that. We do grow through challenges. We learn resilience. We develop strength.
But that's not the same as saying the challenge was meant to be.
Right. The challenge happened, it was hard, and you grew from it. Those are two separate things.
You can acknowledge that something was terrible and that you learned from it.
Exactly. You don't have to pretend it was a gift.
Let's bring back Maya. Maya lost her job last month.
She was devastated. She had been there for 5 years. She thought she would retire there.
Her friend said, "Don't worry, everything happens for a reason."
Maya wanted to scream. She didn't want a reason. She wanted her job back.
So she took some time to be angry, to be sad, to just feel it.
Then, when she was ready, she started looking for new opportunities.
She found a job she never would have considered before, a different field, a smaller company.
And she loves it, more than her old job, more than she ever imagined.
So did everything happen for a reason? Maya doesn't know, but she's grateful for where she ended up.
And that's enough. You don't need to have all the answers.
Now let's talk about the danger of survivor's bias.
What's that?
It's when people who succeed look back and say everything happened for a reason, but they ignore the people who tried the same thing and failed.
Oh, I see. So it's easy to see meaning when things work out, harder when they don't.
Exactly. Not every setback leads to a better outcome. Some setbacks just lead to more setbacks.
So we have to be careful not to romanticize struggle.
Struggle is real. Pain is real. We don't have to pretend it's beautiful.
Now let's talk about the role of faith.
For many people, believing that everything happens for a reason is part of their faith, and that's beautiful.
It gives them comfort, it gives them hope, it helps them endure.
And that's valid. That's not toxic positivity. That's genuine belief.
The problem is when that belief is imposed on others who don't share it.
You should believe this too. That's not helpful.
So we need to respect how different people find meaning.
Now, let's talk about the idea of the gift of failure.
Haha, that sounds like a book title.
It does, but there's truth to it. Failure teaches us things that success never can. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work. You learn about your own limits. You learn resilience.
But does that mean failure was meant to be? Not necessarily. It means you learn from it.
Again, separate things. You can learn from failure without believing it was destined.
Now let's talk about the pressure to find meaning quickly.
Sometimes people expect you to bounce back immediately. It's been a week. Why are you still sad?
As if grief has a timeline.
Healing takes time. Finding meaning takes time. You can't rush it.
So give yourself permission to take that time.
Now let's talk about the power of perspective.
The same event can look completely different depending on when you look at it.
A setback that seems devastating today might look like a blessing in 5 years.
Or it might still look like a setback. Both are possible.
So we can hold both truths. This is hard now, and maybe someday I'll see it differently.
Now let's talk about the role of humor, because we promised laughter.
Yes, sometimes the best response to chaos is to laugh.
I locked my keys in the car. That's annoying, but it's also kind of funny.
I looked like a fool standing there peering through the window at my keys on the seat.
I can picture it.
So I laughed, and that made it better.
Laughter doesn't solve the problem, but it changes your relationship to it.
Now let's practice a conversation about this topic.
Hey, Alex, I've been thinking about that phrase, everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah? What do you think about it?
I used to believe it completely. Now I'm not so sure.
What changed?
I saw people go through terrible things that didn't seem to have any purpose, and I realized sometimes things just happen.
That's honest. I think both can be true. Sometimes there's meaning, sometimes there isn't.
And that's okay. We don't have to have all the answers.
Exactly. We can just be with the uncertainty.
That's hard for me. I like answers.
Me too. But life doesn't always give them.
So what do you do when you can't find meaning?
I focus on what I can control. My response, my attitude, my next step.
That's good advice.
Thanks. I'm still learning it.
See how natural that conversation is? No easy answers, just honest reflection.
Now let's practice a conversation about this topic.
Don't say everything happens for a reason. Just don't.
Unless they say it first.
Right, follow their lead.
Instead, say, I'm here for you. That sounds really hard.
Do you want to talk about it?
Or just sit with them in silence. That can be the most powerful thing.
Presence is more important than words.
Now let's talk about finding meaning in your own life.
You don't have to wait for meaning to find you. You can create it.
How?
By choosing to learn from your experiences, by choosing to grow.
By helping others who are going through what you went through.
That's powerful. Your pain can become purpose.
Not because the pain was meant to be, but because you chose to make it meaningful.
That's the difference. Meaning is not something you find, it's something you make.
I love that. Meaning is made, not found.
So you have power. Even in the hard times, you have power.
Now let's bring Maya back one more time.
Maya lost her job. She was angry and sad.
She gave herself time to grieve. She let herself be angry.
Then, when she was ready, she started looking for the lesson.
She realized that her old job wasn't making her happy. She was comfortable, but not fulfilled.
She decided to try something new, something she had always been afraid to try.
She started her own small business. It was scary. It was hard.
But it was also exciting. It was hers.
Did losing her job happen for a reason? She doesn't know, but she used it as a reason to change.
And that's powerful.
Now here's your challenge for this week.
Think about a time something difficult happened to you.
Not to find the reason, just to notice. What did you learn? How did you grow?
You don't have to be grateful for the pain. Just notice what came after.
Then come back and tell us in the comments. What did you learn from a hard time?
We read every comment. Your stories inspire us and other listeners.
Remember, you don't have to believe that everything happens for a reason.
You just have to believe that you can handle what happens.
And you can. You've survived everything life has thrown at you so far.
That's not luck. That's strength.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We'll be back next week with another topic.
Until then, be gentle with yourself. And if you can, find the humor in the chaos.
And hey, before you go, if this episode made you think, please hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it means we can keep having these honest conversations.
Yes, please. And leave us a comment. Do you believe that everything happens for a reason? Why or why not?
We read every comment. Your perspectives help other listeners.
Subscribe, comment, share. It helps more people find meaning in their own way.
Thanks again, everyone. Now go be kind to yourself.
Bye for now.
Bye.